And many, many, not just one, will do signs and wonders even greater than I. Whoo! No, but whoo. Wrap our noggins around that for just 1 second. A statement that Yeshua HaMashiach, the man who walked on water, raised the dead, gave the blind sight, the deaf ears, the mute to speak, the lame to walk, turned water into wine, calmed the sea and wind, multiplied loaves and fish to feed thousands, cast out more demons than I think we ever knew. 7 alone just in Mary. Let us never forget that after being crucified, as prophesied, after being in the belly of the earth, down below, preaching the gospel, 3 days and 3 nights, our Messiah, Yeshua, he beat death. He rose. He is risen indeed. Whew, those are some signs, works, and wonders, my friend. Yes, yes, indeed. That's a tough act to follow. But Peter walked on water. In fact, all of the apostles did the wonders, works, miracles, and signs like he did. Casting out demons, healing the sick. And yeah, in fact, as it is written, a couple of them even raised the dead. In those days, these days, many will do signs, works, and wonders even greater than those. I wonder what those signs, works, and wonders that are greater than even his might be. I think now would be a very good time for me to insert a very important lesson, because especially here in these days, he also gave us some more advice. Woe to those that in those days call good evil and evil good. Yeah, we do live in the upside down. You do know that, right? Majority of what we have been taught since birth, we have now uncovered to be lies. Lean not into your own understanding, because your own understanding has been handed to you and schooled to you by men. But beyond that, I feel so compelled today, right here, right now, in those days, to remind you guys, the one unforgivable sin. Because whenever somebody does a sign, a work, or wonder, as we've already seen, I've lost count on how many people that have actually done telekinesis on this app that I've watched. And there it is, the Christian in the comment, that's demonic. Ooh, be careful with that. No, we've gotten a little too comfortable with that now, haven't we? Before we go any further, I need to explain telekinesis in case somebody doesn't understand. Telekinesis is the ability to move objects either with your hands, not like everyone can do that, or with your mind. Gift and ability, I'm going to tell you, far more people have than most people know. But Yeshua HaMashiach even said, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can tell that mountain to be moved, and it'll be moved. That sounds an awful lot like telekinesis to me. And I have been racking my brain. Nope, never happened. Yeshua never did do telekinesis. He talked about it. He explained it. He told you how to do it. But maybe he left that for one of the signs, works, and wonders greater than he, for here, right now, for the many here in the end of days. But there it was, every single time on the multiple videos I have seen of people who can do telekinesis, the Christians in the comments immediately pointing fingers and so comfortably claiming that is demonic. That is demonic work. That's the one thing we should not be comfortable with at all. Because by doing that, you have just committed, knowingly or unknowingly, you still have. You've committed the one unforgivable sin, i.e. no shedding of the blood of the Messiah, of the Lamb, will even cover this sin. Unforgivable. That's a pretty clear, precise, legal, and binding word. All sins are forgiven when repented. All sins are forgiven. But one. What is that sin? It is blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. He says you can blaspheme the Father, you can blaspheme the Son, but don't you dare, don't you do it. Don't ever blaspheme the Holy Spirit. It is the one unforgivable sin. And to you, what is blaspheming the Holy Spirit? I'm glad you asked. It is when you, like the Pharisees did with YESHUA after he cast demons out of somebody, it pointed fingers saying, oh, listen, that's demonic. That's demonic. You are working with demons. And that's just stupid. But it sounds familiar. But why would Yeshua be working with demons to cast demons out of a person? That's ridiculous. But nowadays, we hear this from Christians more often than anything. Because the church, well, seems to have conditioned us. 333. And oh, what a dangerous, dangerous road to lead so many beautiful people down. It's almost as if the blind will be leading the blind into a ditch. Blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, like the Pharisees did with YESHUA, claiming he was working through demons. It is exactly that. When anybody works a sign, a work, a miracle, a wonder through the Holy Spirit, when somebody points their finger and says, that's demonic, i.e. giving credit to the enemy, to demons, for any sign, work, wonder that the Holy Spirit has done. Yeah. Ask me, that is not a roll of the dice that I'd ever be willing to take. Because Yeshua HaMashiach warned us, told us, set up the stage for us. He told us, told us that in those days there will be many that do signs, works, and wonders, even greater than I. And guess who'll be the first in line to point at them and scream? You're demonic. That was demons. Being the one unforgivable sin. Woe to those that in those days call good evil and evil good. Lean not into your own understanding. And please never forget that Bible, our Bible, my best friend and yours, is the most incredible collection of supernatural, unexplainable, beautiful events. So why would you expect anything less than? In fact, why would you not listen to your Messiah and understand that it would be nothing less than more than what we've already seen here in those days? By who? By many. Those who work signs and miracles and wonders even greater than he. And just knowing that, one can only wonder, oh, what wonders await. Oh, yeah.